Welcome back. I'm actually surprised anyone came back after that first attempt of a review because that was pretty unscripted and unprepared, just like this one will be. So tonight, as you can tell by the title of the video probably, is I ended up watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which had been recommended to me by several people. It's a comedy horror type movie, I guess. Is it a horror? I don't know. Comedy anyway, and then there's like blood and violence, so do with that what you will. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be discussing, as I did in the last video, kind of some things that happened in the story and whatnot. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want it to be spoiled, don't watch this. So anyway, a group of teenagers are heading through West Virginia. I think they're looking for like a camping spot or something, just to blow off some steam for, I'm guessing, like spring break or something, or I don't really know. I don't think they go into too much detail into why they're there or what they're looking for or whatever, but they're out there looking for camping or something like that. Anyway, at a gas station, they run into two locals who they get creeped out by, and they're giving off some hillbilly vibes, but they're just local. They just have the accent, whatever. But they right away think, oh, creepy hillbillies, what are you doing looking at my girlfriend and shit like that? So they get the wrong impression, they fuck off, and the two guys just like, wow, okay, what the fuck was that all about? And Dale is the bigger guy, and Tucker is the thinner guy, and Dale's not really confident in himself because he's bigger guy, thinks he's stupid, etc. And his buddy is actually really supportive. So they're like, their bromance is pretty good. It's pretty legit bromance between those two. Anyway, the movie itself is kind of different because instead of going, the wrong turn route or whatever, which I will watch at some point as well, but instead of going that route where the hillbillies are just psychos and they just kill everyone, it's like the complete opposite. So the college kids assume that right off the bat, and what ends up happening is in their various encounters throughout the movie is the college kids end up killing themselves through stupid mishaps, and the ones who don't see that assume right away, because Tucker and Dale are right there, oh fuck, they're murderous hillbillies or whatever. So I can't remember what the first kill was, but there's one guy who like charged them with a spear. Oh, okay, so sorry, I'll backtrack a little bit. So they're going swimming or whatever, and this one girl is stripping down, and to be fair, Dale's being a bit of a creeper and he's watching, Tucker is, and Dale's like, Dale, and she hears that, she's like, ah, fuck, and she tries to like get down the rock and slips and falls and hits her head. So those two are like, oh shit, she like is gonna drown because she's not coming to the surface. So they go and they pull her out and they save her. And the other teens are like, where the hell is what was her name? Allison. Where the hell's Allison? And then they see her being pulled out of the water by Tucker and Dale in their little fishing boat. They're doing some night fishing, I guess. So right away they're like, we got your friend. And of course they like freak out and they assume that it's like, we got your friend, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, she's a goner or whatever. But and then the teenagers run off, and they're both staring like, why the hell did they run off? Like, we got their friend here, we just saved her. Don't they want to like see if she's okay? Anyway, they take her back to Tucker just bought a new cabin. Well, it's not a new cabin by any means, but it's an old cabin that they're fixing up. They're doing like a little project to make it their like vacation home, which is great. So they take Allison back to this place to let her recoup and whatnot. And she wakes up, and Dale had made her like a little pancake breakfast, and he comes through the door, and right away she thinks, oh god, is he gonna like, I guess I can't say that on YouTube, can I? The R word me or something? Or is he gonna kill me or whatever. And she screams, and he's like, oh, okay, I guess you don't like pancakes, I'll make something else. So he goes out and makes another breakfast for her, and it's like eggs and bacon. And then she starts realizing, wait, you're like just a dude, like you're not trying to kill me or anything. And they kind of, her eyes are open now to the fact that he was basically helping her the whole time. And so they start getting along or whatever. They even play like Trivial Pursuit or something. At which point the college friends are like coming up to the property thinking, oh, we gotta rescue her because she's in a predicament here. So this is when they start getting killed. So Tucker's like doing something with what's he doing? He's doing like he's shredding timber or something, making mulch or something. I don't really know what it is. But this one kid comes running at him with like a sharpened stick spear, and attempts to... I'm getting ahead of myself too, because she was already awake. So at this point, yeah, she's helping him dig a hole for the outhouse or whatever, because they've like bonded and like become chill, and she realizes like, okay, you're helping me, so she's appreciative. So she's helping out what she can do while she waits for her friends to come, I guess. But anyway, this one friend comes with a sharpened stick, and he runs at Dale, who like spins, hits Allison in the head with the back of his shovel by accident. They fall into the hole. This kid runs with the spear, trips, the spear goes in, gets stuck in the mud, kid falls on the spear, you know. So kid ends up getting killed by his own means. Dale's freaking out because he's like, oh my god, this kid just died right on top of me, and I knocked this girl out. So anyway, brings her back and like bandages her head and stuff, and he's all shaken up, and she wakes up. He's like, what's going on? And he's like, he tells her basically like he thinks that these kids are like a suicide cult trying to kill each other. At which point Tucker comes back in, he's all covered in blood, and they're like, what the hell happened to you? Anyway, he was by the wood chipper making mulch, and this other kid came running at him with a little pocket knife and jumped at him as he bent down to grab another log, ended up going head first into the wood chipper, so you know. Anyway, yeah, so he's covered, he's trying to get this kid out, and that's like the legs and torso is all that's left. So that's fun. And then the cops show up because one of the kids ran off to go get the cops or whatever, and this cop shows up and he sees them carrying this legs and torso, and he's like, okay, this is... And they try to explain like, oh, these kids are trying to kill him. He's like, you gotta be pretty ballsy to think that I'm stupid enough to fall for that. Which I don't believe that for a second. They're like, but we got another one in the building. She was unconscious, and of course the cop's thinking like, okay, you got an unconscious girl in this guy's bedroom. Yeah, let's go in and find out. So the cop enters. Of course, the kids in the car are like, what are you doing? Don't go in there. Are you in the head? So he goes in, whatever, and there's a loose support beam or something. And it's been like an ongoing thing. There's a couple scenes where this beam flies down and almost hits someone. But like, they're aware of it. So like Allison, for example, almost leaned on it. And at the very beginning, like one of them almost got their head hit with this thing. So of course the cop goes in and realizes, okay, she's okay. He like opens the eyes. She's not got a concussion. She's still unconscious, but like she's gonna be okay, guys. And they're like, oh, thank God. And I guess the cop is starting to come around to me. He's like, guys, like, I don't know what I can do for you. Like, you got 2 dead people on your property. Like, you're gonna be hit with like some serious like manslaughter at the very least. And they're like, oh God, we can't do that. And then the cop ends up going to lean on this loose support beam, and before they can warn him, right in his head, big piece of wood, nails right through his brain and everything. Cop comes out with this wood, and of course everyone in the car thinks right away, oh God, the hillbillies fucking killed him. Which they did not. And it escalates from there. So yeah, I mean, it goes on and on like this. The kid's slowly killing himself off, essentially, until one kid is left, and he's like, he's the real creeper of the story, in all honesty, because at the beginning, he was like hitting on Allison, like hardcore. I think it was Allison he was hitting on. At least it was one of them, anyway. And she was not into it, and trying to be polite and being like, dude, no. And it's like, oh, I guess. But he got this power trip because he's like saving everyone, so I guess he thinks, oh, well, I mean, there's no reason that you should not... Oh, okay, sorry. Let me go back again. So the one of the girls that comes into the place mentions that it's probably Stockholm Syndrome, because when Allison tries to explain, like, it's a misunderstanding, guys, legit. She's like, yeah, I read about this. It's Stockholm Syndrome, where you like start falling in love with your captors. And of course, this guy who has the hots for this Allison girl is like all... He's not good in the head to begin with, so that really fucks with him with jealousy. He's like, are you telling me you're in love with this fucking hillbilly? She's like, no, like, what are you talking about? And like, I can explain if you'd let me, and goes on. And eventually, finally, the 2 come back, and they're all covered in blood, and like, this kid had previously, prior to entering the house or whatever, had ended up catching Dale and like cutting his fingers off and shit. Like, he's the real psycho. I'm not going in order at all, am I? It's like was it Tarantino who does the movies that are all cut up and all over the place and you figure it out? Well, that's this review. Anyway, so he comes back, fingers are cut off. They're all fuming. Allie's like, okay, guys, let's sit down, let's have some tea, let's just chillax. Each of you are gonna say your side of the story. So this kid says basically like, you know, I grew up and my dad and mom were attacked by hillbillies and my dad's body was never found and blah, 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 blah. And Dale is like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but like I had nothing to do with that. Like you have to understand that. And they're starting to get chill. And that's when this two other people come in and fuck, I'm getting all mixed up. I just watched it. You know, I gotta start writing scripts or something for these, or at least a storyboard so I can go point by point. But yeah, okay. So the weird kid and his female friend came in, and she's the one who says Stockholm syndrome. By the way, if you guys want to turn this off, I totally understand because this is fucking awful. Yeah, so she's in there and she's sitting there and she's chilling with Tucker while Dale and what was this kid? I think it was Chad, believe it or not, which is perfect. So Tucker, Dale and Chad and Allie are all conversing, trying to make shit work. And the two friends are sneaking around outside, two other friends, I should say. And the one guy's like, he said if he's not back in like 15 minutes, we have to come in guns blazing, even though they don't have guns. So he comes in with like a weed whacker or like a bramble clearer or something. It's like a weed whacker. It has like a blade, I guess. I don't really know. Anyway, he comes in and starts attacking, and he just runs at Dale, who ducks. And then the female friend who came in with Chad or whatever, ends up getting her face all sliced up because this idiot fucking kept going as Tucker ducked. Anyway, so she's all sliced up. And that's when Chad starts freaking out, and he's like dousing kerosene everywhere, and he's pretty much like, I'm gonna burn this place down. And everyone's like, whoa, dude, calm down. What the fuck's going on here? I don't remember how the kid with the weed whacker got killed, but he ended up killing himself. Oh yeah, he got caught on fire or something because the fucking... Yeah, I don't remember how. He got caught on fire anyway. And then the other girl that was sneaking around outside with him grabs a jar and goes to throw it on it thinking it's water, and it's probably moonshine, and everyone's like, no. And so obviously engulfed in flames. Good times. So that guy dies. And yeah, then this guy goes like fucking psycho. And Tucker, Dale, and Allie escape out the front door as the place fucking explodes. Because the girl with the cut up face was like, help me, and was tugging on his leg, so Chad couldn't get out. Anyway, they think everything's chill, and they're like kind of in shock and whatnot, and then Chad comes on, his face is all melted and burnt, and he's like ready to kill. And so they drive off in the truck in like the nick of time. But friggin' Dale isn't watching the road, and they end up crashing. He wakes up with his dog licking his face or whatever, and Allie's gone. His buddy's on the ground outside all fucking cut up and stuff. I guess Chad like tortured him or something, I don't really know. Anyway, he goes off to rescue Allison. Oh yeah, Allie and Allison are the same thing, by the way, because I keep saying both names. But anyway, so he doused himself up. He's got like tree climber spikes on his boots and like a welder's helmet, and he's got his chainsaw. He's like, you want to see a psychopathic hillbilly? I'll show you one. So that's good times. And they cut to him going to a lumber mill, which the dog tracked him to, and he's got Allie tied up on like one of those old sawmills, you know, like a board, and then a big ass buzzsaw and whatever, and he's basically he's like trying to kiss her and lick her face. It's really creepy. Ugh. Yeah, and that was fun. And so Dale busts in, they do a little skirmish. He ends up getting Allie free by throwing a hatchet, cuts the thing, they go upstairs or whatever, and they try to lock the door, and this kid tries to chainsaw through the door. And they find a newspaper clipping or something about his dad, who... Was it the dad ended up killing the mom or something and then getting arrested? I don't know. But anyway, his family ended up being directly involved with like what happened to his mom, and I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it because my brain is fried right now. But anyway, he ends up being half hillbilly, I guess, because maybe his mom was like R-word. I'm not even monetized. I just don't want to risk getting pulled down on like my second video. So yeah, he's half hillbilly. He doesn't want to accept it. How does he die? Shit, I don't even remember. I literally just watched this. Anyway, whatever. So, once the ordeal's gone with, Dale ends up hooking up with Allie, kind of, sort of, after visiting his buddy in the hospital and shit, and they go bowling or something. Anyway, long story short, that's the movie. Very entertaining. Thank you for the recommendation, everyone who did. It was thoroughly enjoyable. Definitely a different take on the hillbilly versus college kids film. So, yeah, college kids ended up being the psychopathic ones, and the hillbillies ended up just being two guys trying to fix up their cabin, and all these kids ended up killing themselves. Honestly, it's a neat movie. It's a good twist. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's on anything else. I think it's a Prime original, so it might not be on anything else, but I don't know if there's a physical copy, because some of these streaming service official like movies don't get like a physical copy, so I don't know if you can buy it on DVD or Blu-ray or anything, but definitely worth checking out. Let's give it a rating, I guess. 10 stars. What did I give the last one? I mean, that one was like a more serious movie and really well done. This is a goofy movie. It's hard to compare to the two. I'm going to give this one I'm going to give it an 8.1. Yeah, we're going to go decimal points here. Pretty solid. Different take on the film. The characters were all pretty good. Didn't really care for Chad, but he was supposed to be a character that you didn't care for, so he was pretty good too, I guess. And Allison was pretty hot, so that helps. Terrible. But yeah, worth a watch. Lots of blood, lots of psycho things, some good deaths. Check it out. I'd probably watch it again. Thanks for tuning in again. I tried to make this one shorter, but it's pretty much the same length as the other ones, so I'm really going to try to, maybe the next couple ones I'm going to put like a storyboard note point thing so I can rush through this quickly without going, did this happen? When did that happen? How did this guy die? Anyway, thanks for tuning in again, and take her easy.